On September 9, 2005, at exactly 12:45 p.m., the Orchard MRT station in Singapore was as busy as ever. The crowd of office workers, tourists, and shoppers bustled through the station, their footsteps echoing off the tiled floors. Among the chaos, a janitor mopped the floor near the exit, his mind preoccupied with finishing his shift. But something unusual caught his eye: a blue and white sports bag, seemingly abandoned near the station's entrance. At first, he ignored it. Left behind items were common, usually retrieved by their absent-minded owners within minutes. But this bag sat unattended for nearly 10 minutes, raising the janitor's suspicion. Curious, he hesitated before deciding to check inside, hoping to find an identification card or some clue about its owner. He reached down, unzipped the bag carefully, and what he saw made his stomach churn. A pair of lifeless eyes stared back at him. The janitor recoiled in horror, his body trembling as he turned away and vomited onto the cold floor. The discovery sent shockwaves through Singapore. The police arrived swiftly, sealing off the station and carefully examining the bag's contents. Inside, wrapped in black garbage bags and red plastic coverings, were 4 severed limbs. But something was missing: the torso. The forensic team swiftly extracted a fingerprint from one of the dismembered arms, running it through the database. Within hours, they identified the victim, Jane Parangan Labla, a domestic worker from the Philippines. The police wasted no time. They contacted Jane's employer, who confirmed that she had been missing since September 7th and had already been reported as a missing person. As the investigation intensified, CCTV footage from around the station was reviewed meticulously. Authorities combed through every lead, deploying 50 officers in search teams across the city. At 6:10 p.m. that same evening, another chilling discovery surfaced. A call came in from a concerned passerby who had stumbled upon a black, wheeled suitcase near MacRitchie Reservoir Park. The caller, a local resident, had walked the same route that morning and was certain the suitcase hadn't been there earlier. Police arrived at the scene, and as they cautiously unzipped the bag, their worst fears were confirmed. Inside was a missing torso, wrapped in newspapers from September 6th to 8th. One detail stood out. Alongside the body parts was an issue of the International Pioneer Forum, a newspaper addressed to a specific individual. Investigators tracked down the address to an apartment on the 8th floor of a residential building. When police arrived, they found an Indian couple residing there. The couple insisted they had no knowledge of Jane, but they did employ another Filipino domestic worker, Gwen Galleo Aguilar. Born in Iloilo province in 1976, Gwen had come to Singapore in 2001, leaving behind a husband and 2 young children. She was known to be hardworking and quiet, never causing trouble. To those around her, she was just another foreign worker trying to earn a living. But something about her demeanor during questioning unsettled the officers. At first, she appeared composed. But when police questioned her about Jane, her demeanor changed. She avoided eye contact, her hands fidgeting, her voice faltering. Something was off. Authorities secured a search warrant, and what they uncovered in the apartment unraveled a gruesome truth. Bloodstains streaked Gwen's mattress and floor. A suitcase in her possession contained traces of human blood, its size a perfect fit for a person. A red plastic bag identical to the ones found at the crime scene sat in the kitchen cabinet. Inside were a meat cleaver and an axe, both of which Gwen's employers insisted they had never seen before. In the trash, shredded remains of Jane's work permit and a luggage tag from the black suitcase further incriminated her. Despite the overwhelming evidence, Gwen denied everything. She claimed Jane had visited her on September 7th but had left shortly afterward. She had no idea where Jane had gone. Then came the final blow. Forensic analysis showed bruises, bite marks, and abrasions on both women. Jane's arm had a clear bite mark that matched Gwen's dental records. It was clear a violent struggle had taken place. As the pressure mounted, Gwen broke. On September 13th, she confessed. What led to such a brutal act? The answer was simple: money. Months earlier, Jane had borrowed $2,000 SGD from Gwen, promising to repay within a month. But the money never came. Desperate, Gwen had taken out a high-interest loan from loan sharks to cover Jane's debt. Interest stacked up. Calls from debt collectors turned from reminders to threats. Her salary barely covered the interest, let alone the principal. She begged Jane to pay her back, but Jane evaded her calls, dodged meetings, and brushed off the issue. On September 7th, Jane showed up at Gwen's place. They cooked together, laughed, and for a brief moment, it felt like old times. Then Gwen brought up the money. Jane dismissed the topic. Gwen insisted. Jane snapped, accusing Gwen of being obsessed with money. An argument erupted. What started as shouting turned into a violent struggle. The fight spilled from the kitchen to the laundry area, then to the bedroom. In the chaos, Gwen grabbed a pillow, pressed it against Jane's face, and held it there. She didn't stop until Jane's body went still. For 2 days, Gwen lived with Jane's body hidden inside a suitcase. Then, she hatched a plan. On September 9th, she bought tools from Mustafa Shopping Center, an axe, a cleaver, gloves, plastic bags, cleaning spray. She meticulously cleaned the scene, covered bloodstains with wallpaper, flipped the blooded mattress, and replaced the sheets. Then, she transported Jane's body in pieces across the city, abandoning the remains in public places as if she wanted to be caught. Gwen's defense attorney, Shashi Nathan, argued that she had no premeditated intent to kill. He requested a psychiatric evaluation, which diagnosed Gwen with concealed depression, a condition that had escalated to severe levels. On May 18, 2006, the trial commenced. The court acknowledged her deteriorated mental state, but noted that she had multiple opportunities to stop. Ultimately, Gwen pleaded guilty to manslaughter. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Some found the sentence too lenient. Others argued that the case was more tragic than malicious. After serving her time, Gwen was released in September 2015 and deported to the Philippines. The case remained one of Singapore's most chilling crimes, a haunting reminder of how trust, desperation, and betrayal could lead to unimaginable consequences. But here's the real question. Was it all about money? Or was there something deeper lurking beneath the surface? The world may never know.